morning, so I'm starting this a little early just so we can make sure if we have any glitches, we can work that out. No pressure. Oh, there we go. Live. It's taking its sweet time this morning, y'all. It's going to be weird having you in here, though. Like, you guys, I'm so excited. I have an assistant today. It's going to be weird, though. Okay. Okay, I think the screen looks good. I'm just going to step back over here. It's going to be really weird. And then I'm going to just check my iPad here so I can join in the live video, so I can check my chat. And I'm just kind of getting everything set up. And let's see. I know quiet is not good, but it's not telling me. Yeah, see, this is the problem, isn't it? How do you find me once I start the video? Okay, how did I do this last time? Now I'm having technical difficulties for myself. Okay. Oh, there we go. Got it. Got it. Okay. So, good morning, Kim and family. How are you? Had a good week? It was kind of a weird week, wasn't it, overall? Yeah, it's kind of hot, too. All right. So I'm just going to chat for a couple of minutes here, just because it's just now 10 o'clock. We'll give everybody a chance to log on. I have an assistant today. I'm so excited, but it makes it kind of weird because somebody else is in the room. See, now I'm used to being in the room by myself. Like, you remember in the beginning, I was like, it's weird talking to you guys, and like nobody's in the room. But now it's weird to have somebody in the room and have me talking. But she's not coming on camera, I don't think. No, she's shaking her head now. So she's going to be my assistant behind the scenes. Good morning, Maureen. Oh, hi, Maureen. How are you? I haven't seen you in a while. Good morning. Good morning. I'm sure you're there. I just sometimes, so I realized that sometimes Facebook lets me know whenever like my Facebook friends are joining me on the video, and then sometimes it doesn't. So I'm still trying to figure out this whole Facebook thing, and then they'll probably change it again. So, good morning, everybody. It's 10:01. Let's give everybody another minute to kind of hop on here, have a sip of coffee or tea, whatever your water. I got really dehydrated this week, so I woke up dizzy one day, and I decided that I'd overdone it. So I drank lots and lots of water, and got just kind of, I stayed in bed mostly, but then I came downstairs, and it was good. And today it's a little warm in here. It's going to be another scorcher here in the Northeast. And but we're going to make ice cream so we can cool down later. And I'm going to be tasting ice cream. I kind of feel bad for you guys because I'm going to be tasting all the ice cream we're making today. Might make you a little jealous. I don't know. Okay. What time is it? 10:02. Let's do it. Okay. I'm going to take a sip of coffee. I'm going to put it over on the table and we're going to get going. I say this every week, I don't think this is going to take us an hour. But it probably will, knowing me. So let me take a sip. Good stuff. Put it to the side. I have a little table over here that my assistant is working behind. All right. So ice cream. It's National Dairy Month, and so we need to support our dairy farmers. And who doesn't like ice cream? But sometimes it's fun to make ice cream ourselves. And but I'm going to show you 3 different ways to make ice cream. One uses an ice cream maker, and we're going to use it. I like custard style, which means I just add eggs to my ice cream. But then the other 2, you don't need an ice cream maker for, and you don't use eggs in them. But we're going to start with a more complicated process, which is the custard one, because that's going to be like a few steps involved. And my favorite ice cream, hang on, before we get started, see, I always have to check my messages over here because sometimes it scrolls and sometimes it doesn't. Nope, we're good to go. Okay. So my favorite ice cream to make is, let's see. I don't know. I'm sorry, I didn't see your name. Good morning. And it's not telling me my comments over here now. See, I do it over here. I put it on the iPad so I can see the comments, but it doesn't. Oh, I can't see your name. It's my eyes. It's my eyes. Is it Cheryl? Did I say that right? Okay, good morning, good morning. Okay, so Basil ice cream. That's my favorite to make. You grow basil and then you can make ice cream, and I love it. So we're gonna start with making basil ice cream this morning, okay? So all I've done so far, and if you looked at the event, then you'll have the actual, are you taking pictures of me? No, okay. I thought somebody was taking pictures. My assistant was taking pictures of me. Okay. I was like, whew, I don't know if I can handle pictures and a video. Okay. So we're making basil ice cream, and then we're going to make salted caramel ice cream that doesn't require an ice cream maker, and then we're going to make a vanilla that you shake in a mason jar. Okay? Basil ice cream. So you grab your basil, you need some eggs, you need some milk, you need some sugar, you need some salt, and you need some heavy cream. All I've done so far is I've taken my basil, which I just bought some because my basil in the garden isn't quite big enough yet, and I just took some off. It says 3 tablespoons. I roughly just grab some leaves. I look at it. You can rip them apart. You can chop them, put them in a pot, put some 2 cups of milk in there, a 1/4 cup of sugar, and a pinch of salt. You bring it to a boil, and then once it boils, you take it off. You let it steep for about 30 minutes, and then that's all I've done here. So in the pot is just that concoction. Then you're going to put it into a blender. So the blender is going to be like a minute, and it's going to be right off camera. So it's going to be a little loud, but it's only for a minute. We're just blending it. Okay. So I'm going to pour this in here, and my lovely assistant is going to blend that for us. And while she's blending it, I'm going to separate out some eggs. You need 4 egg yolks, okay? I'm going to hand this right over to her, and she's going to blend it until it's just really nice and blended up. Then we're going to separate out eggs from the yolk, and then we're going to put the yolks in here, and you're going to just keep your whites. You can make meringue out of that, or other good things. So we're going to put that in with a 1/4 cup of sugar, and then we're going to put it into the mixer, and we're going to mix that up really nice, okay? So let's hold our mouth right, and let's separate out these eggs. And it's a little noisy today, but that's okay. It's only for a quick second here and there. All right, there's 1. You can do this a couple different ways. I just use the eggshells, but you can certainly use your hands to go back and forth if you like. I just find these shells are perfect for separating out the egg, the yolk from the white. And 1 more. Okay. You guys, it's a good day to be making ice cream, right? How was your week? My week was tough. Like, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, right? And it was kind of tough. But I think, it just comes down to being nice and being good to your friends and to people and standing up for, what you think is right and what you know is right. All right. So I have 4 yolks going right in. Okay. Ooh, look at that yumminess. Now, these are not my chicken eggs. Awesome. And look at this. Ta-da! We have our blended mix. Okay, so we're going to set that aside. That'll come into play in a minute. And then, all right, so I have 4 yolks. These are not my eggs. I do buy my eggs right now because my girls are slackers. Actually, they're not old enough yet. And but eventually we'll be using our own eggs here. Okay, so I'm going to do a 1/4 cup of sugar into this. All right. And then I'm going to put it into our mixer here. I'm out of breath already. My goodness. I'm anticipating all of this ice cream for later. And I think I'm getting myself too excited. It is hot in here. I've got like 3 lights on me. And there's usually the door behind me is open. And we get a nice cross breeze going. But, we need it to be quiet. It's loud out there. All right, so I'm going to beat this on, let's see, I'm going to put it on a 2, all right? And you're just going to mix this until it's nice and mixed and pale. Although ours won't be pale because we have free-range eggs. And I'm going to look at my cheat sheet here, as you can see it. thick and pale, about 1 minute. And then we're going to put this in there. This is our basil milk sugar salt blend that my lovely assistant just mixed up for us. We're going to pour it in here, mix it up, put it back in the pot, and then we're going to do, you're going to heat this until it's 175. You don't want it to boil. And then we'll, while that's happening, we're going to talk about ice cream and making ice cream and like some of the different properties with that, okay? I'm just going to walk over here really quickly and check to make sure. No more comments. Okay, good. Just don't want to miss anybody's comments. How was your week? We're kind of talking about that a little bit. Mine was very busy. I'm taking today off. Gonna do some fun stuff. Went yesterday to get some more flowers and some more plants, and we got the last garden bed built. And I'm gonna work tomorrow with the tractor. I'm gonna do some mowing, and I'm gonna fill the last garden bed with dirt. And then my goal would be for tomorrow to get the last bed filled with all the tomato plants that we have. If you read my blog, I did a blog post where I talked about we usually can like 100 pounds of tomatoes a year, but I usually buy them, and I don't think I'm going to be able to buy them this year. So we're going to try to grow them. Let's see. I have a comment from Lorraine. Lorraine in the house. Savory dishes. How did you come up with the idea? Oh, I didn't come up with that idea. I stole it from the internet. Actually, that's a really good question. So, Epicurious.com have got the best ice cream recipes, hands down. So all 3 of our recipes today came from them. And so as normal, what I do is I make stuff and then I tweak it. And I didn't tweak this recipe too much. They strain out their basil at the end. I don't want to. I want my basil in my ice cream, so I don't strain mine out. Okay, we're looking good here. So I hope that answers your question, Maureen. I didn't. I steal it off the internet, but I do give credit. It's always important to give credit. All right, so we are going to add this. Do you guys want to see what this looks like? Let me show you what this looks like, just so you kind of know, okay? It's always important to kind of know what it looks like, so that way whenever you're making it at home, you can see. I don't know, can you see that? So see how mine, they did get a little pale, but it's thick. So there you go. I'm afraid I'm going to pour it out if I tip it too much farther. Okay. All right. So that was probably what, a couple of minutes that we beat those yolk and the sugar together. All right. Oh goodness, you guys, I'm a little tired today. All right, I'm gonna turn that back on to a 2. And I'm gonna put this in. Yummy. So last night, because I have everything made already, so I was making everything last night, and I didn't read the rest of the recipe for the basil ice cream, and it was, it wasn't late. I was just kind of tired. So I put the basil mixture into the ice cream maker, and I'm like looking at it, and I'm like, it didn't freeze enough. The maker didn't, because I have the attachment to the KitchenAid mixer, and oh, hold on. I'm going to do a little exchange in here. Okay, there we go. So I didn't, my mixer didn't get frozen all the way, which was fine. I'm like, I'm still going to put it in there. We'll talk about whenever this is cooking, because as soon as this is done, we're going to put it back in here. I'm going to talk to you about like the components of ice cream. But I noticed that it looked kind of weird, and I'm like, this just doesn't look the same. And I'm like, I don't know what's going on. The mixer isn't, the maker isn't frozen, so maybe that's it. It's not going to get frozen, blah, blah, blah. So I went back and looked at my recipe, forgot to add the cream. A huge component of ice cream is the cream, and I didn't add it. So I'm like, silly me. Okay, so we're just doing that to mix, and now we're going to cook those eggs. right? Because we don't want to eat raw eggs. Hold on, holding my breath here. I'm so out of breath today. I'm out of shape, y'all. Okay, we're gonna put it back in here, and then we're gonna turn it on, and then let's talk about ice cream. I know maybe you guys don't really come here for the like science behind everything, but you know, we got to teach about some of this stuff, right? Okay, so, and here's that, my lovely assistant. Okay, now, what you want to remember here is we don't want this to boil, okay? So I am going to keep an eye on it. I put a little thermometer in there, although I had to use the small one. And if you were with me last week, then you know that sometimes I can't see that small. Actually, as you just witnessed where I couldn't see somebody's name there. Okay, so you're going to keep stirring it. Let's talk about the science behind ice cream. Okay, so what you're doing is you're taking really high fat and you're breaking that down, and that's turning it into the ice cream, and you're freezing it. So the higher the fat content, which is why you want heavy cream, like this one we use whole milk and heavy cream. But you're just trying to take those fat globules and like shake them up and then break them open, and then you're just freezing it quickly. So you'll see all this, but let's talk about whenever you go to the grocery store and you are looking at ice cream, and we witnessed this, my assistant and I, we talked about this the other night. She's nodding her head. She's going like this. So I don't even know if she wants me to say her name or not. So I haven't said her name. It's Samantha. Our friend Samantha is here this weekend, and I roped her into. If you missed it in the beginning, I pay. If you really want to be my assistant, I pay in whatever I'm making that week. So she's going to have lots of ice cream to eat. And I don't know that that's a problem for her. So anyway. So whenever you go to the grocery store and you see your carton of ice cream, and some of it says ice cream, or some will say premium ice cream, or like different things. So like if it just says it's not, you can't call it ice cream if it's less than 10% butterfat. If it's 10% to like 12%, then it's ice cream, and then from there it goes higher. And then the highest you're going to get is about 20% butterfat, which is what you get usually whenever you're making it at home. So the higher the fat content, the creamier it's going to be. But you also are going to get ice in it, because we can't freeze it as quickly as, we can't cool it down and then freeze it as quickly as like a big production can. So that's kind of a little bit of the science behind it. I probably won't go too much into it because I don't actually know a lot about it. I actually like to tell you guys about books and stuff. So what I'll do whenever I do this on my blog, because I always save the video and then I put all the recipes and any tips and tricks on my blog, I am reading Hello, My Name is Ice Cream, and that has such good information in it, and it also has some really yummy. Hey, let me open this up. I read it on my iPad, but let me tell you the different recipes you're going to get from this book. I cannot wait. You're going to get bourbon butterscotch, salted creme fraiche, cold pressed coffee, toasted hay. Have you ever had hay ice cream? It's actually really good. I've had it before. I've had corn ice cream before too. Burnt honey, green cardamom, which sounds really, really yummy to me. Pumpkin sage sounds really good. And then there's like a Philadelphia style, which is a creamy, and I don't think they use eggs. But so just to kind of recap where we were at before, I do custard. I love custard ice cream. It's the one that has eggs in it, and it's really good. I'm just going to scroll. I think I might have some comments that I'm missing because it's not scrolling on its own. Oh, see, Maureen, that's the thing. You just never you just go on the internet or you read a book. Maureen said that that's what she does too. She goes on the internet and she looks for recipes, and then, so, you know, and then you kind of figure it out, and then you can tweak it for yourself. I don't usually tweak things that I don't know a ton of things about, like say ice cream, just because I don't know a ton about it. But this book, Hello, My Name is Ice Cream, is really good, and I think it's going to go, I know, green cardamom sounds fantastic. Probably had I read this book and looked through this book before, we probably would have tried green cardamom, just because it sounds really good. I did make a saffron ice cream, but it had something else in it. I can't remember exactly what it was now, but if I scroll back through my Instagram far enough, I have a picture of it on there. But it was like really, oh, that's what it is. If you, like, you know how you get that film sometimes? It's too high of a fat content. So the saffron actually ended up having too high of a fat content in it, and it like had that coating, and so it wasn't as good as I was hoping it would be. But I think that was my fault because of the way I made it. Okay, just checking my messages, my comments. Oh, I'm tired today, y'all. Okay. So banana ice cream, and then cinnamon basil ice cream. There you go. That might be a good way to. Oh, sorry, I have my. I watched a video the other day, and it was, it was okay. I was just kind of going through YouTube because I want to start doing some more like videos that aren't live, more like edited and stuff, just to teach like different things. I was going to do soap making, like lip balms and stuff, just to have them and just to do them. So I was like, well, the mister was like, why don't you go on YouTube and just kind of watch some videos and see, get a feel for it and what people are doing and stuff. So I did, and I watched one video, and I don't know. I think I like people who are more enthusiastic, like me. I'm very enthusiastic about what I'm doing, but that's not everybody's style. So I'm just want to check my temperature. So anyway, I was watching this video, and the one thing I noticed, and it was not a live video, it was a video that she has edited and stuff. Her phone kept going off, and it was driving me insane. I'm like, why wouldn't you just turn your phone off? So anyway, then of course, because I was like, well, judging, why are you doing that? Now mine's going off. So that's what I get for being judgy. So I usually people don't like, comment on my stuff or send me text messages or whatever. So I'm a little surprised that we're getting some stuff coming through today. All right. So what else? Did I want to tell you anything else about ice cream at this point? I don't think so. Like I said, I like custard style, which has the eggs. It just gives you a creamier product. But this one is so easy. This is a salted caramel, you guys, and it is so stinking good. I can't wait. And we'll talk about this in a couple of seconds, because what we're going to do here is we're almost to temperature. So last night, whenever I was doing this, it never really felt like to me it got to 175, but it started to boil. And the instructions were like, do not boil. So I took it off, and then I didn't cool it down like I should have. And so it's going to have the, I don't know that it curdled or whatever, but it just definitely cooked the fat too much. And I think it's going to be fine. But it got really icy because of my attachment to the KitchenAid. It wasn't cold enough. And that's the one thing you have to know is if you're going to churn your ice cream with a churner, you have to keep it cold. It has to be cold. Because that's the one thing, that's what causes your ice in your ice cream. But if you mix it up, it'll be fine, and it's homemade ice cream. So who cares if it has a few little icicles in it, right? All right, I think we're almost good here. And again, my poor eyes. Hold on. I have to be silent sometimes, and I hate that. I apologize. It's not there, but I don't want it to boil. Okay. And don't forget to put your cream in at the end, because cream is the key component. As you'll see, whenever we're doing these other two versions of ice cream that don't require churning, you will see that the cream is like the most important part of your ice cream. Okay. Whew, my goodness, it is hot in here. I have 3 lights. I have a burner going. I'm talking to y'all, and I'm sweating like crazy. Y'all make me nervous. I'm afraid I'm going to do something wrong. I'm going to spill stuff all over myself or something. But I guess it just makes for entertaining TV. And now I got a guest in the room with me. Whew. Lord have mercy. It's too much for me to handle today, y'all. Okay. Let me see here. See, the comments never showed up over here. Not a single one. Usually whenever I press on this, they come up right there. Who knows? Who knows? All right. What's next week's? I forgot to look that up. Is next week's pasta infusions maybe? My assistant Samantha's going to look it up for me. See, that's why you have an assistant, and you give her lots of ice cream. She can have all the ice cream, except for the basil. I think I might have to keep that myself because it's my favorite. So I was saying to the mister, he's like, "So what kind of ice cream are you making?" And I was like, "Well, we're going to make." I said we're going to make the mason jar vanilla. We're doing a salted caramel in the loaf pan, and then I'm going to do the basil. And he's like, "Oh, well, I'll eat all those but the basil." And I'm like, "Well, nobody's offering you the basil, so whatever." Okay, this is nice and thick. I can feel it thickening up. You're going to stir this constantly whenever you're doing this. That's the one thing whenever no matter what recipe you're using, you're going to stir it whenever you're cooking that egg mixture. You're going to stir it. So I feel good about this, y'all. So even though, is it pasta infusion? Oh, she doesn't know. Okay, hold on. I don't know. Let me see if I can make this. Oh, there we go. Okay. You did? Okay. Pasta infusion next week, guys. So that's what I thought it was. And then I think we have, what's that? Pickling? Pickling, quick pickling. So we'll show the week after that. In 2 weeks is quick pickling. So we'll do like some refrigerator, like pickled radishes, pickled red onions, things like that you can just quick pickle and keep in your refrigerator with no canning involved. And then we do and then we do herbal infusions, which is one of my favorite things to do. And we'll talk about that. I did a class with the cooperative extension and I did herbal infusions. Okay, I'm feeling really good about this. It's really nice and thick. So I don't know that you guys are going to be able to see this. It's more of a feel kind of thing to me. I just know how thin it was whenever I put it in there, and I know how thick it is now. So you're just kind of trying to get it thick. Okay, then you're going to stick it right in an ice bath. You're going to cool it right down, okay? And it won't take it long. I'm taking the thermometer out, and I want to stir it. So now what they say, what the instructions really say to do is to then strain it. So you strain out the basil and stuff. I don't want to. I want the basil pieces in my ice cream. So I just go straight to the ice bath. And that's your personal choice. Sometimes I would strain it depending on what it is. Like if I was doing honey lavender, I would actually definitely take that lavender out because lavender can get really powerful to me for my taste. And so I would take that out and strain that out. But the basil to me is just going to add more of that basil leaf flavor. And then we're just going to splash it all over ourselves because this wouldn't be right if we didn't make a big mess. And then we're going to put it in our mixer. And then I'm going to take the mixer. You're going to have to excuse me. We're not professional here. I'm going to put the mixer on here so you can kind of see what that looks like. And then I'm going to have to take this and schlep it over there. So there will be a moment of downtime here. Where if it was a video that I was editing, so that's why I kind of wanted to do some like videos that aren't quite like, so chaotic and like, crazy and messy and whatever. Just so you can kind of get an idea of like, the different steps and stuff. So if this was a video that we were just kind of doing, this is where I would like stop it or I'd edit it out and then it would come back and I'd be like, here I am. And you wouldn't even know that I moved that. So, or, I'd leave it here and whatever. So, but you just wouldn't know that part of it. And then I'd come back and be like, here's this beautiful product. Like I'm Martha Stewart, who I aim to be, but that probably will never happen because I'm too spastic. But I did step up in the world. I have an assistant today. So we're moving in the right direction. It's just going to take me another 50 years to get there, but I'll be like 90 in here, like still stirring basil ice cream. Maybe I'll have 2 assistants by then. I don't know. one to work the computer and one to like work the behind the scenes thing for me. Okay, and can you hear the cat like trying to get in? So, okay, so I feel pretty good about this. You're just going to stir it until it's cool. You're just so you're not cooking that. You're trying to finish cooking and cooling down. So what you would normally do is if you're making this and you're like, doing like realistically, this would actually have to be, and it doesn't say this in the recipe, we're following the recipe, but normally what you would do is you would take this and then you put it in your refrigerator and you cool it down for like 8 hours. Then you put it into your really, 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 really frozen, like solid churn, and then you churn it. So, but what we're doing here is we're just cooling it down quickly and putting it into our churn. Okay, I'm going to move a couple of things. It's going to take me a couple of seconds here. And then we're going to put it in the ice cream thing, and then I'm going to move it. So we're going to have a little bit of downtime here. This is the attachment. You put there's a big hole and there's a little hole. The big hole goes onto your mixer like that. And then I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab my frozen mixer out. It's been in the deep freeze, like I said. Don't let me forget to put the cream in before I do this, which I almost forgot to do again. And then this bowl just sits right on there. It's got the little nub on the back, like my other bowl does. It fits right on, and you just do like that. And then I'm just going to take a peek. I'm going to stir in. I need half a cup of well-chilled heavy cream. I'm using some nice organic heavy cream, but you use whatever you can find. We've had a really hard time finding cream lately, so I literally had 6 pints and then the bigger one, whatever that bigger one is, just because I was afraid that because I wanted to do everything first, so I did everything yesterday, and then I was afraid like if I goofed something up, I wouldn't have enough. So I think we're going to end up with a little bit left over. Whew. Guys, I'm talking too much. Shocker. Shocker, shocker. Okay, so I'm going to pour in half a cup. And I'm going to give that a little stir. And then we're going to pour it into our maker over there, which I probably shouldn't have taken out until I was actually ready to use it, because it literally will cool down that quickly. Okay, so let me show you what this looks like. Okay. That looks really good. Oh, I dropped some on the floor. That's all right. All right, I dropped some ice. Oh, can you see that? Let me see if I can gracefully. It looks chunky. It won't be. It's nice and green. It's like a light green. Looks really good. Okay. So let me move this over there. All right, now I'm going to take this back off because I actually need this over here. You can see how this thing is very solidly frozen, which is what you want. So if you don't have like a deep freeze, we have a -10 freezer, then you're just going to leave it in your freezer for like up to 24 hours to get that nice deep freeze on it, okay? Ooh, let me take a breath here. Haven't done yoga in a while. Maybe I should go back to doing yoga. Whew, get my breathing right. Okay, this is going over there. And so let me put this back on the way, let's see. Yeah, I got it right. And then you have a paddle. You have a paddle, and you have to line this up with this part that you just attached. And then whenever you raise, this mine's a lift, and you do like that, and you keep it on stir. It's going to be on stir for 25 to 30 minutes, which I think we're going to be done before then, but we'll, whenever we're done, if it's not causing too much of a distraction for you guys, if it is, just tell me, and we'll turn it off, and then we'll just figure it out from there. But what you do is you stir this, let this stir for 25 to 30 minutes, and it's going to like start to like really freeze and firm up. It's not going to be completely frozen. What you do from there is I'm going to turn this off. I'm going to unplug it. I'm going to give it to Samantha. I'm going to grab the ice cream, and we'll take a look at that. So give me just 1 second. The sucker is heavy. We call it the beast for a reason. Woo! Here we go. It's heavy. Okay. So, in case you didn't know, I told her again it's heavy. I don't know. Maybe she's over there dreaming about basil ice cream. Okay, so I made the basil ice cream last night. It has been in a cooler this morning just because I don't have my freezer back here. But so, and this is icy because I didn't get it cold enough, and it didn't. Whenever I was churning it, I hate that you're like. Let me just. There we go. I'm like, all you can see is this. So the the attachment was not frozen well enough, so it didn't get cold enough. So, uh-oh. No. Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. That was my dog, Annalie, just busted her way in because she heard there was ice cream. And I take her, so sometimes whenever we go someplace like to an ice cream place or like whatever, I get her vanilla ice cream because dogs can have vanilla ice cream. And so she must have known that there was some ice cream in here. She could actually have basil ice cream too. So anyway, this is kind of icy, but it's so good. So I'm sorry that I'm doing this in front of you. Mm. Mm. You guys, so good. So good. Okay. There's that back. Oh, that's really good. So I get these little containers from Amazon, and these are small guys. They do make them bigger, but they got that wax on them, so they're great for ice cream. And then you can just put like a label. Usually I just write on top basil ice cream, and then I write the date. Like you need to put the date on there because it's gone by the end of the summer. You can freeze those in whatever you want. That just works for me because I like how they stack and you can shove them in places. Here's the lid. Whew, let me take a sip of water, and we're going to move on to non-churned ice cream now. Okay, no eggs. Definitely uses cream. How you guys doing? Hanging in there? What's my thing? Oh, we're going to be an hour again. Look at me. We're not going to be an hour today. Yeah, right. Okay. So I'm going to put this back in the cooler, and I'm going to take out whipped cream. So all I've done, I'm moving on to the salted caramel loaf pan ice cream, okay? And these recipes, like I said, are on the event for today, but then I'll put them on the blog this week, so you'll have them right there. And I'll tell you what I do different. So this, you need dulce de leche, which I love to say. I just love to say it. So I just try to work it into conversations. Oh, did you have that fancy dulce de leche? Blah, blah, blah. So I didn't have any. And honestly, I didn't look at any of my stores. So I bought sweetened condensed milk, a little can. Usually you can find them in the baking aisle. Yesterday, where did I find that? The cereal aisle or something? The coffee aisle. The coffee aisle. Whatever. I don't care where it's at as long as I can find it. So you just get a little jar or a little can of it. And this is in the recipe. I would have never known this either. You put it in a pot of water. You cover it. Put a lid on it, and you simmer it for 2 hours. And somehow it goes from sweetened condensed milk to dulce de leche, and it is so good. I could like spoon this and just spoon eat it. So that's what I have. I have 1 can of sweetened condensed milk that I simmered on the stove for 2 hours today. I'm going to put a pinch of salt in there because it's salted caramel. Okay, I'm just going to shake out a little bit. And this I had, what time is it? It's like 10:38. So I started this at 7 o'clock and it was done by 9. So it's really cooled down. It might be, I don't think it matters how cool it is. It's still very pliable. Put it like that so you guys can see it. And I'm just stirring around that salt. Okay. Then you're going to take, I'm going to put this to the side because we're going to fluff this up a little bit. You're going to take, here it is, 2 cups, which is 1 pint of heavy cream, and I put it in my mixer and I let it do its thing. And so you want stiff peaks. So I'm going to just give it a little, it's probably not as stiff as it could be, but that's okay. This is for TV purposes. But I mean, it's pretty stiff, right? So have you guys ever done stiff peaks before? Let me show my assistant. She'll give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down. Well, I can't get a peek. I can't get a peek, people. I can't get a peek. She's giving me the thumbs up. Okay. So it was in my mixer. Normally, whenever I do whipped cream, I put the bowl and I put the whisk attachment into the freezer for a couple of hours, and then I have really cold, heavy cream. But this one, I did the instructions, and it said just really cold and put it in your mixer, and you mix it until stiff peaks form, about 3 minutes, and that's probably what it took. And we have a stiff peak. Okay, so you ready? Hold your hats. You ready for this magic? You're going to put, okay. You're going to mix this with this, and you're going to put it in a loaf pan, you're going to put it in the freezer. That's it. Okay, that's what we're doing. It says to do about a third, and you're just going to you're not going to, you're whipping it, okay? You're not going to beat it. You're just barely folding it over and over. And then I just put the rest in there. And so whenever I did mine, I didn't mix it all the way. I actually have that dulce de leche. See how I work it into conversation? I have streaks of it through because I thought that would be really good. But really all it is now is just caramel. So, and then you're going to put it in a loaf pan, cover it with some wrap, and then you're going to let it freeze. And I don't think it ever really froze really, really hard. And then right before you serve it, you would just put a little bit more salt on top, and that's salted caramel. Okay, so let's do that. I'm going to finish whipping this up. I'm just going to keep stirring it. Stir it to the consistency that you like. If you want a little of the whipped cream to still kind of be visible, or the dulce de leche, not the caramel, the dulce de leche. I don't even know if I'm saying it right. Let me look at my assistant. She's giving me that okay. That's all right. I'm going to keep saying it. She won't say it for us, I'm sure. No, she's not going to say it for us. Maybe I'll have a lesson. And then I'll have to come back or something and let you guys know. Okay, so here's how mine looks. I actually I don't know if you can see this, but I do have some of that caramel. See, now I'm not going to say it because now I'm shy. All right, you know what? I never put this back down there, did I? Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so I have a little bit of that streaked through there. I have a loaf pan. You don't need anything you don't need to spray it or anything. We're not baking it. It should come right out. Let me hold this like this, and we're just going to put it in there. I would eat it so totally like this. It's so good. Oh, yeah, and I have definitely a lot of the dulce de leche on the bottom. And I like that because then I kind of feel like whenever I go to eat it, I'll have these little chunks of caramel and stuff. So that's that. Almost. I'm not going to lick the spoon. And then you can make swirly pretty designs if you want or whatever. Okay. Cover it with plastic wrap right in your freezer for 6 hours. I've had mine in there since last night. And I am going to lift the side of the bowl now. And then, you guys, you should be so proud of me. Look at this. You remember all these weeks I've struggled where I'm oh man, it's taking us I got all this stuff and whatever. I finally got smart and decided to make some stuff ahead of time. So then I would, we could just do it. Here we go. Then I got an assistant. Okay. Let me grab a spoon. And this is what it looks like after I have frozen it. It's been in there since last night. It's still a little soft. It's not going to get hard. And let's see. I didn't add salt on top of it, but that's good. That's really good. See, I like that because let me give her the plastic wrap back. I like that because, so Maureen, what you were saying is the basil is more savory, so it's not as sweet. And let's see. So I have another comment. I'm going to respond to that in just a second. So the basil isn't as sweet, so you're not getting that like really sweet kind of flavor from the basil ice cream, but that salted caramel, it's got that sweetness to it. But that the whipped topping with the whipped cream with it is giving it like a nice fluffy feeling. And that's it. That's all you do. You freeze it and it's ready to go. All right. So what we got on here? Oh, hi, Debbie. Oh, Liz. Hi. Okay. So coffee. I had coffee. Had a sip of coffee before we started. All right. So now, what if you don't want to go through all that trouble? You just want a little ice cream. I don't want to churn it. I don't want to cook some eggs. I don't want to like make whipped cream. I don't want to boil sweetened condensed milk in the can for 2 hours. I ain't got time for that. It's all right. I'm going to make it in a mason jar. So we are going to have our lovely assistant shake it for us, unless you want to see me shake it. See what I did there? I love it. Okay. We're going to start with 1 cup of heavy cream, which should be almost that whole thing. I've got my funnel this time, people. I remembered a funnel. Remember how I tried to pour stuff in here whenever I don't have a funnel? I got it this time. So you're going to get a clean mason jar. You're going to pour that in there. I don't know why I did that in my left hand. I'm not sure. I'm right-handed. Okay. All right. And I don't know why I keep trying to use that little thing as the the lid to that. All right. Whew, we're almost there, guys. We've got about 5 minutes of shaking after we get this all in there, and then we'll talk about different ways you can do this and add stuff to it. And then we're going to take a half of a tablespoon. I don't know why half, but you know that's what Epicurious says to do. So we're going to take half of a tablespoon. So whenever I did this yesterday, I felt like I think I added too much salt to this, and I felt like it was more of a salted vanilla. So I'm going to actually do, it says a pinch. So I'm actually going to do a pinch. Let me get my hands down in there. All right. There's a little pinch. Okay. And I need half of a teaspoon of vanilla. I make my own vanilla. So it's just vodka and it's vanilla beans. And it says half. All right. And then you're going to take your lid. Now I have these little white lids for my mason jars, and hopefully this isn't going to go everywhere. And this is really, really cold. And you're going to shake it. You're going to shake it. And 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 we're going to shake it. And we're just going to keep shaking it. So just keep shaking it. We're going to check our comments. So, once this is done, I'm going to hand this off. Because what's going to happen is it was really, really liquidy. And this is like how you make butter as well. You just wouldn't add all the stuff to it. You just take heavy cream and you just start shaking it. And actually, the buttermilk will separate out. And the more you shake it, the more it'll start firming up. Okay. So our lovely assistant's going to shake it. She's going to shake it. She's going to get down and shake it. Okay. So now, let me get a spoon. And this one's shaken and then frozen for since last night. And it's the same as the salted caramel that we just did. It's not going to like really, really firm up like it would if you churned it. I hate that whenever it's like you're just talking and that's all. Okay, so you want to taste it. So yeah, actually, sorry. My mama taught me better than that. You don't talk with your mouth full. I got really excited. That is so good. I like the actual salt, the extra salt in it. That is so good, you guys. And that's it. So if you wanted to, at this point, after you've shaken it, before you freeze it, you can add stuff to this. You can take it out of the jar if you want and put it like into a container. You can put strawberries in there, bananas. You can do like chocolate syrup. You can do chocolate chips. You can do anything. And then you just put it right in the freezer. Let it freeze. Like I said, mine's been in there. Oh, just stuck my grubby little hands down on that, the lid on that. Okay, because they're pretty grubby at this point because we made like 3 different kinds of ice cream and I had my hands and like everything. So, add anything to it that you want. You could even take that, the dulce de leche, and you could put it in there, like swirl it in there, and then you put it in the freezer and you let it freeze for, it says 3 hours. I'll let mine go overnight. And then you're ready to go. So that's ice cream. So you can like 3 different ways. You can like whip your whipped cream, add, like I would imagine you could, instead of doing the caramel sauce, you could even do like the whipped cream and then do like chocolate with it, or, you know, do your strawberries in there and, you know, put it in your loaf pan and put it in the freezer. But if you want to get fancy and start experimenting, I suggest doing the churned method. And you can do that with eggs or without eggs. And I do recommend the Hello, My Name Is ice cream book. That's going on my Amazon wish list, and that will be one that I purchased for my own collection because it has a lot of science behind it, but it also has some really yummy recipes in it. What else? You guys got any questions? How are we looking on our mixer? Is there anything worth showing?
Coming together pretty well.
Okay. Okay, so let me take a pause here. I'm going to take a time out. We're going to grab that ice cream churn, and I'll show you what it looks like. My assistant has informed me that it's looking pretty good, although we haven't been quite as much on time as it should have been. Oh yeah, this looks much better than it did last night. Okay. So we're going to keep doing this for a little longer after we're done. But you see how it's starting to firm? It's really starting to look like ice cream. So it probably doesn't need too much longer than this. Okay. Cool.
You can feel it like it looks.
Yeah. Oh yeah, look at this. We got good stuff going on here, people. Okay, so I'm probably gonna let the ice cream in the mixer go for another 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna pop it out into those little containers that I showed you, put those in the freezer. They're gonna still need to freeze after that because they're not gonna be frozen. They're just gonna be like really cold and ready to go into the freezer. And they're not gonna have as much ice on them this time. And then my lovely assistant, Samantha, like that's what you want. This is done. This is ready to go. See how that has now, like, you just whipped it like we were whipping it in the mixer. Now you're just gonna put it in the freezer. From this point though, from here you can take it out of your mason jar and you can put it into a bowl or container, whatever. Put your, like, if you wanna add stuff to it, add it in there, put it in the freezer, a couple hours, you're ready to go. So we are done, you guys. And I think I did it less than an hour. Let me see. 52 minutes and 46 seconds. All right, basil ice cream with an ice cream maker, salted caramel without one, using whipped cream and dulce de leche because I like to say it, even if I'm saying it wrong, and vanilla ice cream in a mason jar. That's it. So simple. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got. That's literally all I got, people. That's all I got. You all have a good day. Have a good rest of your weekend. Make some ice cream and let me know when you make ice cream, what you made, and how you liked it, and how it went. And then this is all going to be on the blog this week. I probably won't be, it took me a long time. It took me all week to get caught up on that, the old blog, but it's up there now. I'll try to get this one up early next week. And I'm going to take today off. I'm going to clean up this mess. I'm going to pay my assistant with some ice cream. And we're going to go have a good day. All right? Okay. You guys let me know how it goes. Thank you for joining me as always. I love seeing you guys. I love it. Cool. Thanks, Debbie. Bye, you guys.